Hi everyone, welcome back. Thank you for joining me today. So today is experiment day and I'm actually using a really small canvas. I'm used to using larger canvases so it gives me a surface area to really create and lose myself on. But the smaller the canvas I struggle with. So that's today's challenge for me personally. I've mixed up some paints. All my paints are mixed with just water. So 1 part paint to 1 part water. Don't worry, I'm going to list all the ratios. I'm going to list the brands of the paint and the colours in the description box. So expand that and it lists lots of information in there for you. I'm also, because it's experiment day, going to add a little extra to the combination, a little surprise extra, and I'm going to see how that reacts, and I hope that you'll join me and see how it reacts too. I don't know what to expect. I've still not decided on what technique to do. I'm debating whether to do a flip cup or to just do a straight pour and then blow it out or tilt it out. So I'm going to trust my instinct. I'm going to trust being in the moment of the here and now and just seeing where my creativity takes me. So I'm going to take you down to see the colours, the consistencies. Let's see what we can create. So here are most of the colours. So you can see that I'm going for a Winsor & Newton and Daler Rowney colour palette. So I have got some silicone oil and I'm going to talk about that in a second. So I'm going to just put that to one side. So the colours that I've got, you can see here, there's a Prussian blue that's missing, but I will add that in the description box. That was a Prussian blue by Amsterdam. But you can just see here that I'm using the Winsor & Newton range. You can see the colours and the names of the paints. And as I say, I will list everything in the description box below. So there's my colours, that's my colour palette, plus the Prussian blue. Let me show you the consistencies. So here we go. All these paints are literally just paint and water. 1 part paint to 1 part water. You see that it trickles off the spatula back into the cup without a trace. And that's true for all of these colours. So again, just 1 part paint to 1 part water. To show you some more of them. They just trickle off the spatula and just disappear. So this one is the Prussian blue, not too much left in the Prussian blue, but I'm actually going to put that to one side because I'm going to add 1 drop, just 1 drop of silicone oil. So I'm going to do that shortly, and I'm going to place all these colours, probably all of them, into this cup here. And then I think I've decided I'm just going to do a flip cup and see how all those paints react with just 1 drop of silicone oil mixed in with the Prussian blue. This is experiment day. I always have so much fun doing this. So let's go. So I'm going to just do 1 drip of silicone oil in the mixture. So just 1 drip and that's it. So 1 drop of silicone mixed in with the Prussian blue to then be layered in the cup. So I'm just going to drizzle the paints into the cup. I'm taking 2 or 3 scoops onto the spatula and just drizzling those colours directly into the cup. I'm now adding the paint, the Prussian blue, that includes the 1 drop of silicone oil. And I'm just ensuring that that goes down near the bottom of the cup. So when I continue to drizzle those other paints on top, it has time to infuse and those paints have time to react with that silicone oil. I have sped up this part of the video. I don't want you to get bored, but I do want you to see the full process and I want you to see the volume of paint that I'm using. Again, I'm just taking 1 colour at a time, using my spatula and just drizzling the paint on top of each colour 1 by 1 into the cup. So I'm now done adding all the paint into the cup. To be honest, I've probably got too much volume of paint. I imagine that I will pour quite a bit of this off. And I'm literally adding my canvas on top of the cup and flipping it over. I'm just going to leave it like this for a little while, just to allow that paint to react with the silicone oil that's within the cup. And I will release the paint shortly. I'm just going to tap the bottom. I think I'm happy with this. And then I'm going to take the cup and just remove the cup and allow that paint to escape from the cup itself. I can see all those colours that I've added. There's quite a lot of the purple. That's going to be the dominant colour. And I'm just going to use my torch not only to pop the air bubbles, but this is going to encourage any reaction between the silicone and the acrylic paint. I've got my gloves on. I just want to protect my skin because there's silicone in there. And I'm just going to tip the paint from side to side and cover the full surface area of this canvas. As I said, I always struggle when it's a smaller canvas because I'm used to using larger canvases. And this is a test for me as well. And it's important to remember just to enjoy having fun, enjoy being in that process, enjoying being immersed in that creative process. So I've spread the paint across the surface area. I'm now going to take my torch and I'm just going to see how that silicone reacts with the paint. I know that there are colours underneath that main purple that you can see, and it's about bringing those colours out over the top. You can see here that the torch is helping with the reaction, but I feel like it needs a little bit more. I feel like I need to add a little bit more detail to this. You can see the reaction that it's having, and it's a good reaction. I'm happy with how it's transforming. It does remind me of space, but I know there's quite a bit of the colour that's still laying underneath that purple, that dominant colour that you can see on top. So I'm going to use balloon dips and balloon kisses just to help with a little bit more of the design on the canvas. But first of all, I'm just going to use my spray paint. I'm just going to add a little bit of spray, and I've chosen gold because I really want some of that shimmer to appear on that surface area. I'm not going to keep it like this. I am going to add some balloon dips, but by adding that little bit of gold will hopefully create a completely different dimension to this piece when it dries. I'm just going to use the balloon now to do some kisses and some dips, and each time I dip the balloon onto the canvas within that paint, I'm just cleaning the balloon each time before I dip on some tissue. This is creating a different pattern on top, but also it's allowing some of that paint, some of that colour that's underneath to be more exposed on that surface area. Whether this is a failure or a success, it doesn't really matter. I always say that when you're creating, when you're painting, you're evolving and you're learning. And that's what's happened with this piece. I had the idea of doing the flip cup and using that silicone oil, but I didn't really decide to use the spray paint or the balloon until I was immersed into that creation process. And it's about allowing yourself to really be in that moment of the here and now, in that present moment, and allowing yourself to evolve and change your ideas as you create. And I feel that that's what I've done here. So Although I might not be fully happy with the end result, I feel like it's quite a dark canvas, it's quite a dark piece. But then you could say this could represent fireworks at night, and I'm happy with any interpretation. So if you look at this piece and you've got some ideas, what does it tell you? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. But it's really about experimenting, evolving, and having fun with a number of techniques, especially when you're immersed into that creation process. A big thank you for joining me today. I hope you're having fun. I hope your creative juices are flowing, and I hope I get to see you again in the next video.